It is week 9 of the NHL season. We got a rookie goalie doing something that we literally have not seen in 88 years. We got controversial last-minute reviews leading to coaches speaking their mind in the media and leaving everyone confused as to what the hell the rules are. The future face of the league continues to give everyone the middle finger and prove them wrong, while this 40-year-old beer-belly shooting son of a gun is still scoring goals. Of course, all this is going on while everyone's trying to tear each other apart. Life's good, the hockey's better, so let's cover everything that happened in week 9 of the NHL season. Now, first, we start off the week with the Caps and Islanders and a pizza so fresh it'll burn the roof of your mouth. Sorokin with a perfect tape-to-tape pass right to Tom Wilson. He says, thank you very much. Ovi gets his vintage empty netter. Caps keep on rolling with a 4-1 win over the Island. Then we got the two teams of the future in the West, the Ducks and the Hawks. And Anaheim came right into this game fired out of a cannon. 2 goals in the first 45 seconds. They were up 3-0 10 minutes into this, and it looked like things were going to get ugly. But there is a reason why they called him the Chicago Bedards. He puts the team on his back, a couple apples, and this beauty. Deke in close that has Husso swimming from one continent to the other, and to boot, Bedard sinks the empty netter from his own net and then shit talks the other bench after doing it. Then he got into it afterwards with Mason McTavish at the end of the game. The kid doesn't back down from anyone. His 4 points would seal the comeback and moves him back to second in the NHL for scoring. Get this kid on Team Canada, will ya? Now, if you wanted to spend your Sunday wasting your time and hating scoring, Calgary and Carolina was the game for you. The result was a 1-0 overtime win for the Hurricanes, and me wanting to claw my damn eyes out trying to watch these teams score. It also means we get another game where we have to pump the hell out of the Dallas Stars tires. Speaking of young Canadians doing everything they can to make Team Canada, Wyatt Johnson gets a hattie in this one and is a power play cheat code. He's got 12 goals this season, all while on the power play already. They embarrass Ottawa 6-1, and may be the only team that could potentially take down Colorado. Boy, is that Rantanen deal going to get juicier and juicier with age. The beef and story behind those two teams keeps on growing, and the fact that they're both wagons makes everything even better. Moving on to Monday, we got ourselves the Battle of Pennsylvania. In case this season already didn't make much sense for you, the Flyers are actually a top 10 team in the NHL going into this game. But if there is one man who owns the Philadelphia Flyers franchise more than anyone, it's Sidney Crosby. He scores another 2 goals in this game, moves into third for league scoring. Penguins put on a 5-1 beatdown over Philly, and maybe the most embarrassing part is Trevor Zegras trying to make Connor Clifton flinch here. 1-2 pump fake. Clifton is just looking at him like, buddy, you're not going to do a damn thing. And he didn't. So we go on to the next game now with Monday Night Bezos special, and it was Winnipeg getting embarrassed by Buffalo. Yeah, Josh Norris returns for the Sabres after getting hurt on the very first day of the season, and what a return it was. 2 goals and an assist. Sabres win 5-1. Hellebuyck can't come back soon enough for the Jets, and this one ends with WrestleMania 2. Krebs throws a hit, Stanley jumps him, everyone grabs a guy, Gen Z line brawl with a whole bunch of tackling and not many punches thrown. The Jets look like they're in trouble. They had a players-only meeting after the game, which means that the Sabres can officially raise that banner for the end of the season. Good for them. Sabres fans will take anything that they can get. Now, the rough stuff continued in the Blue Jackets and Devils game, and this one got ugly. Brandon Dillon was in his 1,000th career NHL game, and he decides he wants to drop him with Voronkov. Then he gets KO'd in the process. That is a tough watch. He had to leave the game, and that left a sour taste in everyone's mouth. There were 3 more fights in this game after that, but Columbus comes out on top to snap their 4-game losing streak. We move on to Anaheim and St. Louis, and the Ducks goaltending is hanging on by a thread right now. Both Dostal and Mrazek are injured, but Ville Husso steps up to save the day against his former team nonetheless. He stops 21 of 22 shots, and the Ducks get a much-needed win after blowing a 3-0 lead the day before. Little side story here was that Blues goaltender Jordan Binnington and coach Jim Montgomery got into a little bit of an FU match on the bench after Binnington got pulled. It has not been a good year in St. Louis, and tensions are starting to boil over. We then finish off the night with the Mammoth and Sharks. Both these teams are currently battling for the last wildcard spot in the West. They both come in with identical records of 12-11-3, but Will Smith was looking to change that. The Fresh Prince of San Jose pulls off a filthy double toe drag goal. Oof. That has got SeatGeek goal of the week potential right there. And then 3 minutes later, he's going to come back for more. Another toe drag from Smith. He and Celebrini get 3 points while Uncle Toffoli has 4. The sleepover line was buzzing in this one for San Jose, and they get back in a wild card spot after the 6-3 win. Now, of course, before we get into Tuesday's games, we got to thank our friends at SeatGeek for sponsoring these weekly recaps. Now, we'll get in the mix here for Saturday's portion of the video, but SeatGeek hooked us up for the Leafs and Habs game on a hockey night in Canada. I had enough of the suits. I was sick of hearing Jerry trying to close a deal during the Leafs power play, so we sat where the real fans are, and that is in the 300s, and the seats were just as good, if not even better. I was able to score a damn good last-minute deal to get into the game, and that is the beauty of SeatGeek. Guys, SeatGeek is easily the best app for finding great deals on tickets like I did for this game. Every ticket on SeatGeek is graded on a scale from 1 to 10, so you instantly know if you're getting a steal. If it's red, stay away. If it's green, that's a gem, and you should be all over it. They hooked us up with code HOCKEY2025 for 10% off your next tickets at SeatGeek. That's any tickets, anytime, anywhere. Just hit the link in the description to download the app, and it'll automatically apply the code to your account so you're ready the next time you find a deal. Guys, World Cup tickets are already on sale on the app. I'm probably going to watch it with it being in Toronto. I might go watch Team Italy play, but it looks like they might not even qualify again. How funny. Anyways, check out those tickets on the app. And as always, big thanks to SeatGeek for sponsoring these weekly recaps and getting us to the game. Now, on Tuesday, we got the Sens and the Canadiens. Guys are looking to set the tone early here, but this is one of those games where Brady Tkachuk takes over. First, he puts on the chef's hat and starts dishing out some dimes right to the Zoob, and then later he gets his first of the season. The Sens take a big division game 5-2 over the Habs, who have come down to earth after a hot start. Now, before the season started, if you told me that in December, a game between Toronto and Florida would be a toilet bowl game, I would have called you nuts. Yet here we are with both teams in the bottom 2 of the East, the prize being the winner to get to pass Buffalo in the standings. The Leafs, though, seem to be getting a tad better as their depth came up big in this one. Joshua and Lawton scored. They win 4-1. Parade is potentially reinstated as the Panthers are officially last in the East. I know it looks bad. They aren't playing great, but I still don't think anyone's quite worried about the Florida Panthers. Let's go to the Bruins and Red Wings. Still no David Pastrnak for Boston. That is no bueno, and they fall 1 goal short likely because of that. The Wings squeak out a 5-4 win. Mo Seider was a dog in this one. He gets into the mix with Zadorov a little bit. He had 3 points on the night. That is what Detroit needs to get back into the win column. Meanwhile, the hottest team in the East and the Lightning come into Long Island on a 7-game heater, but this was a Sorokin special. 29 of 30 saves. He shuts the door on Tampa to snap their winning streak. On to the Stars and Rangers. We go to this one in the final 2 minutes. 2-1 lead for Dallas and Will Cooley. Spin and rip. He ties it to force OT. And then an early Christmas miracle. Rangers win on home ice. Gavrikov, the backhand slapper on the rebound. Rangers get a much-needed win. And side note here, tough news for Tyler Seguin. He left the game with an ugly injury. He's going to be out for the season. This guy just can't catch a break after he played only 20 games last season. Now, here's the real toilet bowl game of the day. It's the Flames versus Predators. You watch this game if you hate your life and don't respect your time. Although the Preds are dead last in the NHL, they absolutely spanked the Flames 5-1. Steven Stamkos gets the game winner, and he's been doing way better lately. He now has 3 goals and 5 points in 4 games. There you go. Watch the guy become Wayne Gretzky just to get the hell out of Nashville at the deadline. Now, to the surprise of no one, the Avs won again, and McKinnon scored twice. This team is just in a league of its own right now. One concern for Colorado is that in this game, Scotty Wedgwood left the game early with an injury. The Avs 1A and 1B goaltending has been a major factor in their success this season, so we'll see what happens there. Now, the other big story emerging in the West is the Minnesota Wild and Jesper Wallstedt. The Wild come into Edmonton on a 9-0-2 run, and Wallstedt was the rookie of the month of November, and he was a brick wall again in this one. He stopped all 33 shots in this game. That is his 4th shutout in his last 6 games and his 7th win in a row. He is the first goalie since 1938 to record 4 shutouts in a 6-game span. The Second World War hadn't even happened yet. This kid is becoming the wall of St. Paul, and perhaps the funniest part is that he was supposed to be an Oiler. The Oilers had the pick that drafted Wallstedt and traded it to Minnesota, and now we're here. sometimes life just ain't fair, Oilers fans. The Wild are in wagon territory right now, and so are the Capitals. They keep on rolling, and that's large part due to Tom Wilson. He gets his 16th of the season. Guy wants to go to Italy so bad for the Olympics. They defeat the Kings 3-1 and have won 8 of their last 9. Cool scene at the end of the game, too, as Ovi and the Caps go to shake the hands with Anze Kopitar, as it's likely the last game they will ever play against each other, with Kopitar retiring at the end of the season. Class act from Ovi and the Caps. Finally, we finish off the night between the Blackhawks and the Gold Knights. Carter Hart makes his Vegas debut in the crease after being acquitted for sexual assault and missing nearly 2 years of action. It showed in this one. Look at this pizza. He sends right to Bertuzzi for the empty net, and then Connor Bedard. What an absolute rip. This kid is unbelievable, and he didn't stop there. This goes to a shootout where Bedard, little leg kick, gets Hart biting like a fish, then reminds him to close his damn legs with the 5-hole tuck. That is potential SeatGeek goal of the week right there. Bedard has just taken his game to a whole other level here as of late. He cooked in this one, but Vegas ends up coming out on top as Hart gets his first win in a Vegas uniform. On to Wednesday, and it's just another day at the office for Dallas. I'm starting to sound like a broken record with these guys. All they do lately is show up and win. 3-0 shutout for Jake Onger. Jason Robertson, the RoboCop, got another goal. The Stars are sick. Meanwhile, the Sabres might be the most hot and cold team in the league. One night they hammer the Jets 5-1, and then the next they get it right back from Philly. Rasmus Dahlin got ejected in this game. He rocked Trevor Zegras from behind. No flinching on that one for Zegras. Then all hell breaks loose. Dahlin goes to the box, throws his arms like I barely touched him. All right, pal, hit the showers. Go home because Philly wins 5-2. Let's go to the Jets and Canadiens. Things are rocky right now in Winnipeg. They had a players-only meeting after getting spanked by Buffalo. That'll do it. Props to Captain Adam Lowry, though. He knows his team needs a spark, so he goes toe-to-toe with Jack Guy at center ice. It somewhat worked, but the Jets still lose in a shootout and keep falling in the standings. Then 2 absolute shit kickings in the late games here. A couple of touchdowns were scored first. Ovi and the Caps dismantled San Jose. Ovi scored 2 goals. Guys on pace for 40 at 40. What a dog. Caps spank him 7-1 for their 6th win in a row to take over the first spot in the East. Then in Anaheim, Utah comes in and lays a beating of their own. 7-0 win. JJ Peterka 4.9. Cheers, Sabres fans. Anaheim gets humbled badly on home ice to end Wednesday. Now let's go to Thursday, where we dial up the heat. First, we got the Avs and the Islanders, and Colorado's 17-game point streak has come to an end. The Islanders are the first team to make the Avalanche look silly. They go up 4-0 halfway through the game. Avs were starting to come on a little bit of 2 quick goals, but Barzal says nah. New York ends up winning 6-3, and at the end, both teams say screw it and start fighting each other. Gotta love it. What an effort, though, from New York, showing that the Avs do in fact bleed. Now let's go to Nashville, Florida. The Panthers look like they're in control, but the Preds big boys come up clutch. Ryan O'Reilly gets a late tying goal. Stamkos wins the game with another bizarre OT winner. You'll see Gustav Forsling go right into the post. The net goes off its moorings and Stammer puts it into the cage. It counts because the puck would have gone in anyways. The Preds were on the other end of this exact type of goal earlier in the season against the Wild, and the hockey gods gave them a gift back in return. They win this one in OT. In other news, it looks like the Rangers may suddenly be good again here. They go into Ottawa and take an early 2-0 lead and cruise to a 4-2 victory. That's now 5 wins in their last 6. Like I said, don't let the big boys over in the Big Apple get hot. The Bruins are still missing Pasternak, but who needs him when you got the Geek Squad? Morgan Geeky gets his 21st of the season to get within 1 of the Nate Dogg. This guy could be the 2025 version of Jonathan Cheechoo, but the Bruins don't care. They will take it. Big congrats to them on the night as they get to play the Blues, so take your 2 free points, pass, go, and move on. Now, dare I say that the Maple Leafs Cup parade could officially be back on. They go into Carolina and make them look foolish. Matty Nyes shrugs off Gostisbehere like it's his annoying little cousin playing mini sticks and then tucks for the backhand finish. That is pretty. In their last 3 games now, the Leafs have outscored their opponents 18-4. But Joseph Wall left the game early with a lower body injury. No one can stay healthy over there. However, they do end their road trip on a 3-game winning streak. So, clear Bay Street, ladies and gentlemen. The parade is going right through there first. Then we go to Tampa and Pittsburgh, and this one was wild. Penguins are up 3-0 in this game, but they blow it. Tampa gets 3 unanswered to tie it, only for Malkin in the middle to step right up and bury with under 3 minutes left to go to give him back the lead. So, Kucherov says, all right, enough. He absolutely lasers one under the bar to tie it up. What a goal, but hold on. Get Gary Bettman on the phone. This one's under review. What's going on? Well, it turns out before the goal, the play should have been whistled down for a hand pass. That's because the puck was rimmed around the boards and Hagel instinctively threw his hands up. Yeah, what was he thinking? I guess he should have just let the puck hit him square in the mouth. Regardless, they still deemed it a hand pass, and the Situation Room in Toronto initiated it as they review every goal scored in the final minutes. So, the goal is waved off, and the Penguins hold on for the win. Tampa's coach John Cooper had some words after in the media saying it's frustrating that somebody who's not even in Florida made that call. And you know what? I agree. But unfortunately, the game's the game, and Tampa comes out with the L. Moving on to Detroit versus Columbus. Goaltending's nightmare in this one. Detroit's power play goes 3 for 5. Columbus's goes 2 for 3. Neither goalie could stop a beach ball in this one. It was a 5-5 barn burner going into the shootout, but Columbus comes out on top. Detroit, for the love of God, continues to stay in the Bermuda Triangle of mid. They can't keep getting away with this. Let's go out west, shall we? The Wild come into Calgary on a 12-game point streak, and a big part of that has been because of the Wall and St. Paul and Jesper Wallstedt. But tonight, it's Gustafsson in net. He gets out-dueled, though, by the Wolfpack. Dust and Wolf stop in 26-27. The Flames score 3 in the third to win 4-1 and put an end to Minnesota's 10-0-2 run. With both the Preds and Flames winning today, the Canucks are officially last in the league. There you go. #save Quinn Hughes. Now here's what Oilers fans have been missing. Edmonton coming out and the big boys just laying the smackdown. McDavid realizes he can shoot the puck, and when he does, he gets a hattie. 4-point night for him. The Oilers go 4 for 5 on the peeper. They put up 9 against Seattle. That looks more like Edmonton, and it could be exactly what they need to get going here. Then finally, in the late one, Connor Bedard stays red hot. He gets another one on this nice give and go, and then Kaiser gets the game winner with 6 seconds left in the second. That is a 2-1 playoff style win over the LA Kings, and the Blackhawks are back in the first wildcard spot to end Thursday night. Moving on to Friday, the Jets get the opportunity for revenge after crashing out against Buffalo, and that's exactly what they do. Eric Comrie gives his best Hellebuck impression, stopping 34 of 35 shots. Jets end up winning 4-1 to temporarily stop the bleeding there. They need that one. It's getting ugly there. They just need to bridge the gap until Hellebuck can come back healthy. Then there may also be officially panic in New Jersey because they have been shut out in back-to-back home games. 3-0 loss on Wednesday and then a 3-0 loss to Vegas tonight. Their fans actually booed them off the ice at the end of this game against Vegas. The Devils have now lost 4 in a row, all at home, and are now 4-7 without Jack Hughes. Checking in on the Dallas Stars, it's still the same thing as usual. They step right into their office and continue to do what they've done over the last few weeks. 4-1 win over San Jose. If it ain't Robertson going, it's Rantanen, and 2 goals and an assist in this one as Dallas continues to just take care of business no matter who they play. However, one team on the complete opposite side of the spectrum are the Canucks. Despite outshooting the Mammoth 32-18, they still lose 4-1. Things have gone completely south of Vancouver. Body language is all over the place. The team looks dejected, and with rumors swirling around with who's on their way out, it seems like change is inevitable. It's just crazy to think because it wasn't too long ago when this team was just 1 game away from beating Edmonton to go on to the Western Conference Final, and now they are just the disaster of the league. Now, finally, we got the Caps in Anaheim, and we get some fireworks right away. Ryan Leonard rounds the net, and the Trouba train comes chugging right through. Ba-boom! He catches him clean. Leonard had to leave the game. Caps players take issue to that, but this was a back-and-forth game all night. Every time the Caps scored, the Ducks responded all the way until the shootout. Gary moment right here. Lil Carlson scores in the shootout, but they review it. It says he shot the puck twice. I don't know. It took 4 minutes to review that. They end up deeming it no goal. Come on, fellas. Either way, the puck don't lie. McTavish ends up burying the shootout winner, and the Ducks take it 4-3. Now, finally, let's get to Saturday hockey's holy day with an early game between the Avs and Rangers. Final minute, Rangers down by 1. It's Artemi Panera bread. Chuck this 1T in the oven and let it marinate. Heat Seeker ties this game to force OT, but then the dog, starts to get going. Toe dragging son of a gun, then backhand finish for the Avs win. McKinnon is on another level right now. Then who would have thought that a random game on a Saturday afternoon between the Blue Jackets and Panthers could potentially go for game of the year? Goaltending was completely optional in this one. Jackets already leading 4-1. The Panthers score, but Dean Evison challenges for a missed hand pass. But he's going to find out that apparently instinctively protecting your face from a flying puck like Hagel did the other night is a hand pass, but reaching your hand up and having the puck deflect off of your hand is not a hand pass. I don't know. Challenge fails, and the Panthers score on the ensuing power play. That gives them all the momentum. The Panthers come back in this game. We go all the way to overtime, tied 6-6, and watch Brad Marchand here try and weasel his way into the Jackets bench to try and spy on them, hear what they're saying in the timeout. He gets shoved out with a stick. Vet middle school move right there by the rat Brad Marchand. Sam Bennett goes out, bears the OT winner to win 7-6, hits the 6-7 Sally afterwards in the postgame. What the hell is going on? Afterwards, they asked Blue Jackets coach Dean Evison what he thought about the game, and he said everything was a joke. From top to bottom, the entire game was a joke. Yeah, he's not happy. And honestly, I don't blame him. The consistency is all over the place with these types of calls. We got another crazy one in Carolina, too. Taylor Hall has all the time in the world for this breakaway. That's because literally everyone else on the ice is scrapping in the other end. Good news for Carolina, though, is that they are playing the Preds, so 2 points is pretty much a lock, and they win 6-3. Then we got the classic Saturday night matchup of the Leafs versus Habs. We were at the game, thanks to SeatGeek. Here we go. I want to catch me reacting to a Leaf goal. Instead, I got this.
It's coming right there.
How wonderful was that? Tons of Habs fans in the building, too. And then we go to the third, where we got a Scotty Lawton B-way bomb. He just winds up and takes a clapper to tie it up on the B-way. Missed that one for the live reaction, of course, but this required a shootout. And ladies and gentlemen, could have seen that one-handed move coming from a mile away. That is the game winner. Habs fans love it as they take over the Scotiabank Library. That is a big one for them, with the Atlantic being doit. Then we go to Ottawa, and we get a random legacy game from Joel Hofer. Ottawa was absolutely dominating in possession. They outshot the Blues 41-20, but they could only get one goal by Hofer. He even tried to get in the mix during the scrum as well. At the end of the game, he just wanted to get involved. He was all over the place tonight. 2-1 for St. Louis. Ottawa has now lost 4 of the last 5. A few tendies had a night as well in this game. Flames and Utah go at it, and the Wolfpack, Dustin Wolf, shuts out Utah. Fun fact about the Flames, even though they're ass, they have a .932 save percentage on home ice. That is by far the best home save percentage in the league. Ilya Sorokin also got in on the shutout fun too. Tampa throws 32 pieces of rubber at the guy. He stops all of them. After a 15-3-0 run for Tampa, they've now lost 3 in a row, probably because I gassed them up in our last power rankings video, of course. Now, just when you think this week couldn't get any worse for the Devils, they gotta face the wrath of the Geek Squad. Morgan Geekie gets his 22nd of the year. This guy's Morgan Geek Chew. This guy's on a crazy run. Bruins win 4-1, and the Devils have now lost 5 in a row. Then a couple teams lay down a beating. The Kings are sick of the Connor Bedard show. 6-0 shellacking by them. First time the Kings have scored more than 3 goals all season at home. That was a spanking, and that looked like last year's Blackhawks. Then the Oilers look like they could also be back as well. 4-goal first period. McDavid and Draisaitl get all their cookies. They beat the Jets 6-2, and Winnipeg looks like they're just withering away right now. Tell me the Oilers, though, are going to do this again, where they go on another 10-game heater midseason. It's about damn time anyways, but the offense has come alive here as of late. Now, with rumors starting to catch fire here, as Elliot Friedman reported that the Canucks have had talks with the Devils about a potential Quinn Hughes trade. It feels like it's not if, but when at this point, but the Canucks still got to play a damn hockey game and not look like they're completely hitting the tank button just yet. They're facing the wall of St. Paul and Jesper Wallstedt, but they find a way to make him look human. Atu Ratu, 2-goal game. Canucks win 4-2 and slow the roll of Mini. Then finally, we got the Kraken and Red Wings. 2 teams trying desperately to shake off the mid-allegations, and who better than Patrick Kane? Showtime himself. This game was tied at 3s in the final 3 minutes, and they let him walk down Main Street and rip it top cheese where mama hides all the peanut butter. That's all she wrote, as the Red Wings end the week with a dub. So, what did you think of Week 9? Who surprised you? Who pissed you off? SeatGeek goal of the week for me goes to the kid Connor Bedard with the shootout tuck. Let me know your SeatGeek goal of the week. And as always, check out our power rankings and our other videos right here. We got breakdowns and recaps every single week and throughout the week. So subscribe to the channel and turn on notifications so that you don't miss a thing for the NHL season.